This is ABC 7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. We are still waiting for Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton to take the stage in Tampa.
Let's take a live look at the rally at the Florida State Fairgrounds. As you can see, quite a full crowd, but no one on stage just yet. The event was scheduled to start at 4:30, but so far no word on when Clinton will speak. She may announce her vice presidential pick at the rally this evening. The name getting the most buzz at this point, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine, who's acknowledged that he is in the running. Clinton is also planning to hold a rally in Miami tomorrow, which could be when she appears with her pick. She may make the announcement tonight and then appear with the person tomorrow.
And we've been told that she'll let her closest supporters know through a text
Message.
Yeah, when that pick is done. So we'll wait and see, but I'm sure we'll hear about it before she tells everyone there.
Surely.
We'll keep you up to date. Here at home, a no swim advisory remains in effect at Nokomis Beach due to elevated levels of a harmful bacteria.
ABC 7's Alex Redmond joins us now with what this advisory means and the health risks associated with it. Alex.
Thank you, Haley. Well, the sun is shining and the beach is inviting, but posted signs advise against swimming. This high bacteria level advisory sign greets Nokomis beachgoers before they hit the water.
I've been coming here 23 years, so I still plan on hitting the water.
We were about to get out of the car and then just start unloading stuff.
We were all going to go swimming, and we heard about the bacteria.
No, we're not going swimming anymore.
One of the questions on people's minds right now is if you ingest any of the bacteria, just how sick are you going to be? Would it be serious enough to send you to the ER?
There will be only a small number of people that will get sick. They'll have some nausea and vomiting, but the people that are immunocompromised or they have an open cut, they can get serious infections.
What we're posting is an advisory and not a warning, which means that you're still able to go in the water, but we advise against it due to the bacteria.
It is uncommon for people to get seriously ill, says infectious disease Dr. Ahmed Farouk, and gastrointestinal symptoms are self-limiting.
And patients usually get better within the next 24 or 48 hours without any antibiotics.
Bacteria can come from a number of potential sources in the area, including natural sources such as from wildlife.
And behind me you see there are seagulls that are actually lined up right there at the shoreline. And the Florida Department of Health in Sarasota County does say that animals, wildlife in particular, can be a contributing factor to this particular bacteria.
With all the rain we've been having, it creates stormwater, and that stormwater can have pathogens that come from pet waste and even old septic systems.
CFUs, or colony-forming units, estimate the number of viable bacteria cells in a sample. Environmental specialist Jennifer Clementi explains a good sample is between 0 and 35 CFUs. 36 to 70 is moderate, and more than 70 is a poor sample.
So the sample that we took here on Monday was a 96, which was poor, so we resampled, and the resample was much higher than that. So we went ahead and posted the advisory, and we're hoping for it to be below 70 so that we can lift the advisory tomorrow afternoon.
You can still enjoy Nokomis Beach today, and again, reiterating the hope is that tomorrow the high-level bacteria advisory will be lifted. You can learn more about the Florida Department of Health and the Healthy Beach Program and beach water quality by going to mysuncoast.com. Click on the link. Back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you. A Georgia company wants to build a luxury condominium on Siesta Key. Crossgate Partners is working with Sarasota County to build the complex on a piece of vacant land along Ocean Boulevard north of the Siesta Key Village. The 4-story, 6-unit condo would be called Ocean. The lot was listed for $5.8 million.
The Snook Haven boat ramp will be closed starting this coming Monday for construction. Crews will be making improvements, adding 3 new docks and new canoe and kayak launches. They'll also be adding more plants along the shoreline. The project is scheduled to run through November. The restaurant has adjusted its hours because of the construction. Divers will be sprucing up the area near Venice's North Jetty this weekend. Volunteer divers will be in the water removing trash and debris that could be harmful to marine life and interfere with fishing activities. The Suncoast Reef Rovers Dive Club and Venice Police Patrol will be taking part in this underwater cleanup. If you would like to volunteer, you can meet them at the Venice North Jetty tomorrow morning between 7:45 and 8 a.m. Interested volunteers must be certified divers. This cleanup starts at 9 a.m. Or you can just volunteer to bring them coffee and, moral support. You can do that.
Enjoy the
donuts.
view.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful fishing spot.
It
So
is.
I know that probably anglers are really happy they're doing this tomorrow.
Yeah, great project.
Yeah. And they'll be keeping a close eye on the skies as we are this evening. Here's Steve with more on that.
Scott, we have a classic summertime weather pattern going on. Doesn't get any more classic than this. Watch this review. Watch the East Coast sea breeze move westward and our Gulf sea breeze move eastward, coming together, creating that line of thunderstorms. They'll mature, send out outflow boundaries, creating other storms that could blow back in our direction through the evening hours, and the computer models are predicting that's going to happen 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. We have a chance of storms coming back from the interior at that point. The National Weather Service just issued a special weather advisory for people up in Polk County for those storms that are throwing down a lot of lightning. In fact, if you're in these storms and you have lightning in the area, stay indoors. Don't get under a tree even near home. More people get killed by lightning standing under trees in Florida than any other way of getting hit by lightning, and this is the time of year we have the strongest lightning strikes going around. Here's our computer forecast for the evening, showing we top off 50-60% chance of showers between 7, 8, 9, and 10 o'clock, and the rest of the night will be dry until another chance tomorrow morning. Our complete forecast coming up in our tropical weather outlook as well in just a few minutes.
All right, Steve, thank you. 14 middle school students and 1 adult are hurt after their bus flips over in Pennsylvania. The crash happened around 2 o'clock this morning as the group was heading home to New York after a visit to the Poconos Resort. One person had to be flown to the hospital, but most of the others were not seriously hurt. Police are investigating what caused that crash.
The first of the 3 Baton Rouge police officers killed in Sunday's attack laid to rest today. Officer Matthew Gerald was shot and killed in the ambush. The 41-year-old was a Marine and a former Black Hawk crew chief who served 3 tours in Iraq. And a bit of bright news for another officer involved. Deputy Bruce Simmons was shot in the upper arm during this ambush. He had at least 2 surgeries and was released from the hospital yesterday. New developments coming out of South Florida of a police shooting caught on cell phone video. North Miami police are identifying the officer who discharged his weapon while the frustration over the officer's actions is intensifying. ABC's Ray Mundy has the latest details.
The North Miami Police Department in the national spotlight after Monday afternoon shooting of 47-year-old Charles Kinsey, who was unarmed. The city manager of North Miami identifying the officer to America.
The officer involved in Monday's shooting is Jonathan Aleda. He is a member of our SWAT team and has been employed with the department for 4 years.
Days after the shooting, the protests are louder. Marchers making their voices heard both in and out of the North Miami police station. Police officers trying to keep the peace.
We're just asking to go outside so you're not interrupting our police services.
Those protesters asking an onslaught of questions.
What are the policies you're going to change today?
What is the training given to police officers for when to shoot?
Mr. Kinsley did everything right.
The president of the police union speaking out, saying officers were aiming at Kinsey's patient, adding that officers believed Kinsey was in danger from the autistic man he was trying to protect.
At the end of the day, he was trying to save Mr. Kinsley, not hurt Mr. Kinsley.
So could the officers with their guns drawn have handled the situation differently? ABC's Brad Garrett weighs in.
The key is to know everything you need to know before you go to deadly force.
The city manager of North Miami says a second police officer involved in Monday's shooting has been placed on administrative leave without pay after evidence showed that officer gave conflicting statements to investigators. Ray Mundy, ABC News, New York.
Ray, thank you. Florida police catch a man accused of stealing and crashing a $61,000 boat off of Marco Island. Police say the boat was stolen from a Minnesota dentist named Walter Palmer. He's known for sparking an international fury for killing Cecil the lion last summer. Palmer owns a vacation home on Marco Island. Police say Andrew Derwin stole and crashed the boat. The passenger on the boat was injured in the crash. Derwin is charged with grand theft. Collier County Sheriff's Office arrest records say Derwin has been arrested 13 times before on various charges.
The 2017 NBA All-Star Game will not be played in Charlotte, North Carolina because of the state's controversial transgender bathroom law. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver worked with other NBA officials to try to keep the law from passing. It requires people to use bathrooms in government buildings, schools, and universities that correspond with their gender at birth and prevents local governments from passing anti-discrimination ordinances. The law does not apply to facilities in privately owned buildings.
It was not a surprise that the game left North Carolina. after nothing was done during the legislative session to repeal HB 2.
Governor Pat McCrory slammed the NBA's decision, saying, quote, left-wing special interest groups have no moral authority to try and intimidate the large majority of American parents who agree in common sense bathroom and shower privacy for our children. The league says it will make an announcement about where the February game will be played in the coming weeks.
For the past decade, concussion safety has been a hot-button issue in the football world. Now, the Florida High School Athletic Association is implementing new rules to protect student athletes. One of those changes, limiting live contact in football practices for the upcoming season.
We're in the process of beginning to gather data with regards to the concussions that take place at each school every year, not just in football, but in every sport. Many other injuries that kids can get by live contact. We feel player safety is paramount.
And coming up on ABC 7 News at 7, the FHSAA weighs in on how it will enforce these new rules. It's coming up at 7. Still to come in your Suncoast News, drivers wanted. The special deals Uber and Lyft are offering now to try to get more people to join their companies.
Plus, a step-by-step guide for voters to help make sure you are ready for election season.
Need new windows? Buy direct from the factory. New South Window is having a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Buy 4 windows, save 25%. Buy 6 windows, save 30%. Buy 8 or more windows and save 35%. How? Because New South owns the factory and you cut out the middleman. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows and doors installed with a lifetime warranty. New South Windows are made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com or call now.
Dog days of summer got you down? Beat the heat with huge summer savings during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. You'll feel cooler than ever when you drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999, or take home a stylish new Jeep Renegade for just $18,599. How about a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999? Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
That's Chuck, proud homeowner, regular do-it-yourselfer. Today he's attempting an electrical repair. This is Pablo. He's an electrician with Mr. Sparky. How's he doing, Pablo?
Terrible, Mike.
Yeah. What Chuck doesn't realize is that almost 68,000 home fires are caused every year by electrical problems.
What?
If you don't have the proper tools and training, he's liable to start the next one.
Little help here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You might want to write that number down.
Come uncork your inner artist at Painting with a Twist. Bring your favorite bottle of wine and appetizers and enjoy an evening out with friends to celebrate any special occasion. It's perfect for a girls' night out, birthday parties, or a fun date night. Painting with a Twist offers 2 or 3 hour classes that are instructed by local artists, and there is no experience required. We now have 2 convenient locations in Sarasota and Bradenton. Visit our website to view our calendar and schedule your next party today.
On the next Black Almanac.
There are no discussions of policy or ideology, only a failed stop Trump floor fight and walkout. Second team speakers were up next to disparage Hillary and Obama while waiting for the First Lady in waiting. Melania Trump appeared with visions of Michelle Obama dancing in her head because when her speech ended, the potential First Lady had plagiarized the current one.
Sunday morning at 7:30 on ABC 7.
A campaign rally for Hillary Clinton is going on right now in Tampa.
ABC 7's Adam Chelini is joining us now live from the Florida State Fairgrounds with the latest. Adam, Hillary Clinton is a little late getting to the stage.
Yeah, she was, Haley. These cheers that you're hearing behind me are for a local elementary school principal from here in Tampa. Before she took the stage, it was Senator Bill Nelson, a popular Democrat here in Florida. Those two talking on the stage means Hillary Clinton is in the building, but there were reports that she was taking some time to rework her speech after all the events that unfolded in Germany today. She will hopefully be taking the stage soon, and all reports indicate that she'll be announcing possibly a vice presidential running mate for her campaign, a huge announcement, and that could lead to a joint appearance together tomorrow at a rally in Miami. We're going to stay here with the latest, try and bring you the updates when Hillary does take that stage. For now, live in Tampa, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott and Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Adam. Florida's Secretary of State has released a voter education toolkit for the primary election. The guide has checklists for current and new voters. It includes everything you need to know before you head to the polls. This includes making sure you are properly registered, making sure your signature is up to date, and verifying your address is correct.
It's important for voters to get prepared during this election cycle. There's a great amount of interest in the election, and we want to make sure that voters, when they go to the polling place, that they have a positive experience and that their votes are counted.
The kit makes sure to specify who is allowed to vote in certain partisan contests during Florida's closed primary election. And time is running out to register to vote. If you do want to participate in the primary election on August 30th, you must be registered to vote by August 1st. That date is the deadline for voters in both Sarasota and Manatee counties.
You might notice a foul odor coming from Selby Gardens in Sarasota. The garden's two corpse plants, named Audrey and Seymour, are now just days away from blooming. Selby Gardens is expecting the plant Seymour to bloom on Sunday or Monday. Audrey likely bloom August 2nd or 3rd. Now, these plants release a putrid scent that resembles something like sweaty socks. When Selby determines when the plants will bloom, the garden's plans to stay open that night until 9 o'clock. Everyone is welcome to come out and watch the plants bloom and even smell them, a very rare scent.
Can't wait. I know we've done some live reports there before, and people have said who were reporting that it really does stink.
I smelled one at Kew Gardens in London, and it smells like rotten meat more than stinky socks, but sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the two. Look at the storms boiling out in the Gulf of Mexico, the opposite direction from the interior storms that we've had in the last few hours. There's a chance we're going to see some blow back our direction come 7, 8, 9 o'clock, so if you're heading out tonight, make sure you're prepared for a little wet weather that might pass by. Currently 87 degrees at Sarasota Bradenton International Airport with a let's go back to you guys. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Steve. We are getting word that Hillary Clinton is about to take the stage.
Speaking at a rally, a packed rally at the Florida State Fairgrounds. Let's take you live back to the auditorium there in Tampa.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Whoa. Are we ready to go win an election in November? Well, I think after the last week, what we saw in Cleveland, we'd better be ready to go win an election in November. I want to thank Delia for those wonderful words about her life growing up here in Tampa and her strong endorsement. I want to thank my longtime friend and my colleague from the Senate, your Senator Bill Nelson. I also want to thank your great mayor, Mayor Bob Buckhorn. I also have a few others to thank because I'm thrilled to have so many strong Florida leaders here with us today. County Commissioner Les Miller, former Governor and soon-to-be Congressman Charlie Crist, former Mayor Sandy Friedman, and we got a great group of state representatives, council members, and so many more And I am grateful to each and every one of you who are here with us. I got to tell you, did any of you watch that convention in Cleveland? Well, you know, it was kind of perversely flattering. It's hard to believe they spent so much time talking about me and no time talking about jobs or education or health care. Now, no matter what your political leanings, I think we can all agree that never in the history of conventions, certainly, but I think even more broadly, have we moved forward together by pointing fingers and scapegoating and blaming people instead of rolling up our sleeves, getting a plan together, and then working to achieve it. Now, I mean, something has gone terribly wrong when one speaker says, "Vote your conscience," and gets booed. I mean, I never thought I would say these words, but Ted Cruz was right. In this election, do the right thing and vote your conscience. Vote for your future. Vote for a United States of America. Now, look, you know, I think many of us felt that those speakers, including, of course, their nominee, were not talking about the country we know and love. They weren't talking about the work people do every day, the opportunities we try to seize, neighbors helping neighbors. I didn't hear any of that. Instead, I heard about Donald Trump's dark and divisive vision. Last night's speech took it to a whole new level. He offered a lot of fear and anger and resentment, but no solutions about anything that he even talked about. He didn't have a jobs program, did he? All that talk about keeping people safe, I didn't hear any plans about what he's going to do to support our police, to make sure that we are all working together. You could listen to that speech and you could think, my goodness, he believes America is in decline. And I got to say, as he said this last night, I was pretty shocked. He said, "I alone can fix it." Now just think about that for a minute, because it's really important. His vision of America is one where we Americans are kind of helpless. We need to be rescued. I can't really imagine him on a white horse, but that seems to be what he's telling us. I alone can fix it. Well, he doesn't understand that we are strong, big-hearted, results-oriented, generous people in America. I've spent a lot of time, a lot of wonderful times, traveling across our country, and I've seen people fixing all kinds of things. I've met educators like Delia, working with teachers and parents to turn around schools and give kids a better chance. I've met small businesses and entrepreneurs who get up every day and work really hard. And you know, when they make a contract for their goods or their services, they expect to be paid. I've met so many wonderful men and women who serve in our military. They know their job. They know the grave responsibility that they fulfill, and they get up every day and they do their best. But I've never heard one of them say, "Oh, I can fix it alone." I was in Orlando before I came here to Tampa. And I had the great honor of sitting and talking with some of the residents of that beautiful city and hearing what they are doing together to deal with the aftermath of the worst mass shooting in American history. The mayor spoke with great pride about how his city had responded. The police captain in charge of the SWAT team talked with such conviction about how when the moment arrived, the police in Orlando were ready. They had trained, they supported each other, they were ready. The captain didn't say, "I can fix it alone." He said, "I'm a member of a team, the best team that anybody could have." I met some of the hospital and the medical personnel who were there to take the wounded and worked so heroically to save lives. Every one of them doing his or her part. Triage, nursing, doing everything. I didn't meet any one of them who said, "Hey, I can fix it alone." I've never heard of an American leader, or at least someone who wants to be an American leader, claiming that he's all we need. That's not a democracy, my friends. As I recall, we had a revolution to make sure we didn't have someone who said, "I can fix it alone." The other thing he said that really shocked me it is hard to know where to start, isn't it? Well, last night, Donald told us, "I am your voice." Well, I don't think he speaks for most Americans, do you? He doesn't speak for small businesses like the ones he has consistently stiffed. And contrary to what they tried to say at their convention, I don't think he speaks for women. I don't think he speaks.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News, weeknights at 5.
Reckless economic policies. He doesn't speak for anyone who thinks our country should be standing together, not splintering apart. He sure doesn't speak for me, because I know we are stronger together, and that's what we're going to be next year. Now, starting on Monday in Philadelphia, we will offer a very different vision. It's about building bridges, not walls between people. It's about making the economy work for everyone, not just those at the top. It's about embracing our diversity that does make our country great. I have to tell you, in Orlando today, in listening to people who had been there that night, meeting a mother whose son died, meeting others who barely escaped after hiding from the killer, sitting around a table with leaders of the LGBT community, leader of the SWAT team, a county commissioner, and a Muslim imam who has been embracing the LGBT community. I was so proud. I was so proud. Well, but I'm proud of everybody in this country who gets up every day and makes a contribution and does your part. And what the folks in Orlando said to me was so touching. They said, we have to stand against hatred, no matter who it's against. Racial hatred, religious hatred, homophobia, xenophobia, all of these hates that infect the soul. And we have to stand against violence everywhere. And that includes standing up for common sense gun safety measures. Now, I want to say something else. I really do, because this is serious to me. I love this country. I am so grateful for all the opportunities and blessings I've had, and I am so humbled by the prospect of being nominated next week in Philadelphia. But here's what I want you to hear. I will do everything I can to make life better for hardworking Americans. I will do everything I can to bring people together. I will do everything I can to keep us safe, and I know a little bit about that. Now, you can't put this, you can't really put this into law, is what I'm about to say. But we need more love and kindness in this country. We need more respect between and among our fellow Americans. We need to be listening more to each other. The last thing we need are leaders who try to divide us even more than we are. We should be working to reach out to those who are different from us. Our differences, which make up our diversity, makes the United States the strongest, best positioned country in the world for the 21st century. am proud to be an American, and I want to be sure that our children and our grandchildren have the same pride and the same opportunity to have the access to the American dream that so many of us have had, so that they too can enjoy the fruits of freedom and liberty, justice and equality and opportunity. Now look, I understand that there is a constituency for the fear and the anger that we saw last week. I know there are people who are feeling insecure and anxious about their lives, about their futures. They worry that maybe they're not going to have as high a standard of living as their parents or grandparents, or as they themselves hoped. I know that there's a lot of angst about all the changes that are happening in the world, technology, globalization. I understand all that. And I respect those who have legitimate concerns and questions. But I've never known America to quit on ourselves. I've never known us to give up in the face of tough challenges. I've never known us to basically retreat into the kind of isolationism that was being advertised at their convention. That is not who we are. Those are not the values that made this a great country. And don't ever forget, we are a great country already. Now, can we do better? Of course we can. Can we be fairer? Can we provide more ladders of opportunity? Yes, we can. And that's exactly what I intend to do if I'm given the great privilege of being your president. I will work every single day to make your dreams come true, to make you believe that America's future can be even better than our past. We are a forward-looking nation, aren't we? And I know that if we set our goals and we work to achieve them, we will. It has always been thus. This country has always delivered for the American people. Now, we've had some challenging times. We've taken some detours. It took a long time for some people to be given the same rights as everybody else. We know that. But there is no place on earth that historically has continued to move forward toward that more perfect union. The last thing we need is somebody running for president who talks trash about America. So, I hope you know that this campaign is really going to take a lot of work. I hope you will join us. I hope you will take your phones out and text JOIN, J-O-I-N, 47246, or go to my website, HillaryClinton.com, to get involved. And I want to tell you this, especially the young and young at heart. We are hiring organizers right here in Florida. If you would like to apply, go to that website. We want the very most energetic, enthusiastic people, because our success in the I-4 corridor is essential to our winning. And I'm excited about this campaign because I believe that when it's all said and done, all of the scary speeches with all the side effects are over. People have stopped yelling at us at the top of their lungs like they did all week. That we will choose to be stronger together. That's what I'm counting on. That's what I, in my heart, believe is the right course for our country. It is the only course that leads us with confidence and optimism into the future. And I know that we are up to the task. I know we are. And particularly to all the young people who are here today, every election is always about the future. This election is truly about your future. So today in Orlando, when I asked everybody around the table what they wanted, what they needed, they basically said we need people to understand what we've gone through, to be there for us for the long term, to help us help all those who were affected and all the families. And we need to stand up against hate and divisiveness. And the best way I can sum up what I hope this election will lead to, the conclusion we will reach together in November, and the work we will do for the next 4 years is, it really is great to be among so many optimistic people. But here is what I want you to remember. My last thought for you today. Just remember, love trumps hate.
You've been watching Hillary Clinton speak at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. A packed rally there at the auditorium. We were expecting, and it's why we stayed with her speech throughout the entirety of it, expecting a possible announcement of her vice presidential runner.
It did not come.
Yeah.
So it may come tomorrow. It may come via that text message. We'll get more on that when we come back.